Hey guys, we're still in the Smokies, the Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee, and in the foothills, Sevier County still. Now we're going to be at the Saffell Cemetery today, and it's very old, so get your ancestry book out, see if you can locate some family members. Well, hello. Welcome back to Appalachian Cemetery Hunting. Welcome to our new subscribers and our old subscribers. We sure do appreciate it. Now, like I said, we're at the Saffell Cemetery in Sevier County. And in this picture, you can see the grove of trees where the cemetery is located, off to your right. Now, the map shows that it's located south of the Kodak community in Sevier County. And the cemetery is just off of Highway 66 beside Crocker Ferry Road, close to the French Broad River. Now, there's only 24 people buried here, and the first burial that we could find was in 1807, so it's a oldie, and it has some of the first settlers in the area. So let's get started. First, we have Alice Bryan, 1829 to 1894. Her father, Allen Bryan, 1772 to 1839. Her mother, Alice's mother, Elizabeth McSpadden Bryan, 1786 to 1862. Eliza Armantha Caroline Huffaker Bryan. That's a mouthful. 1825 to 1892. And her hobbless headstone's laying on the ground in this photo. But here's a photo of the base. And we actually found a picture of Eliza. Look at that. It looks like an old tin top. Probably around the Civil War era. That's really a good find here. We have Frances Bryan, 1846 to 1853, and she was only 6 years old when she passed away. We have Simon Bryan. I'm not going to try to say his middle name. I think it's Bolivar, but let's just go with Simon Bryan, 1822 to 1843. We have William Bryan, 1819 1860. We think this is his original headstone, and it's actually laying on its side in the cemetery. Now, we had to use the computer, of course, to flip the image so you can see it better, but you'll notice there is a weeping willow tree carved in the stone. And anytime you see this in Christianity, this symbolizes the gospel of Jesus. Now, this picture shows what we believe is the obvious that was William's second stone, but unfortunately it's on the ground on its side too, so we had to flip it as well. And we found out that William was a doctor. Now, I have watched other videos of people cleaning graves. I just love to watch those, and also people that go into these cemeteries and just out of their own pocket fix the stones, set them up right, clean them, and I just want to give a shout out to them. That's a labor of love, so that's a really nice thing to do. So let's move on. We got Elizabeth Bryan Carter, 1817 to 1898. Margaret Bryan Henry, 1799 to 1845. And her husband, Samuel Henry, 1787 to 1835. And you can see, it looks like there's a wrought iron fence around their graves. I always like to see those in graveyards. And this looks like the base for an obelisk that's between Margaret and Samuel's stone. So we think that this next one is their son, Porter Henry, 1827 to 1845. Now, he died about a month before his mother, and we don't know if she just grieved herself to death, if there was some kind of flu or epidemic at the time, but that's a sad story right there. So moving along, we have Amy George Carr. She was born in 1767, but we don't have a death date. But you can notice there that her little headstone is hand-carved. And we have her husband, Robert Carr Jr., 1758 to 1819. And also, his headstone was also hand-carved. Now we have Caroline Minerva Saffell, and they called her Callie, 1855 to 1879. And this looks like a picture of the base to an obelisk. What do you think? So next we have her parents, Minerva Bryan Saffell, 1824 to 1904, Thomas Fletcher Saffell, 1815 to 1893. And we also found one of her sisters, Minnie Saffell, 1767 to 1877. So she was only 10 years old? No, that ain't. Anyway, we got Frederick Scruggs, 1807 to 1853. Melinda Bryan Sneed, 1827 to 1894. Next to her husband, Robert Sneed, 1820 to 1882, and he also was a medical doctor. Then we have their daughter, Minerva Jane Sneed, 1856 to 1859, only 3 years old when she passed. We also have Harvey Underwood, 1810 to 1840. Now, we only have one person buried here with no picture of their grave, and that is the oldest person buried here, Elizabeth Hubbard Bryan, 1777 to 1807, and we believe that she is the first person buried here. Now, I know this was a small one, but it's going to finish our look at the Saffell Cemetery. Not a lot of history, but I'm sure that if we could talk to each one of these people, they sure could tell us a lot of history, because they was some first settlers here, and that's pretty cool. And I'm surprised just by the last video we did at all the doctors that are buried around this area, the old-timey doctors. That's something that come out of Sevier County. But we sure hope you liked this video and me rambling on. I hope that you hit the like button. Wish that you would subscribe and hit that notification button, because we try to get one out each week. Hit the share button also. Let's help get up my subscribers up. That would help us tremendously and make it worthwhile if people actually are interested. But I do hope you found some ancestors in this video, and let us know if you did. And we'll see you next week, God willing, and God bless. See you next time. Bye-bye.